Good morning, Crystal from the Rain Dance Ranch. So here at the ranch, I run a boarding house. Not really. I have a roommate, and this is her garden. And here is a sweet potato vine that she started growing last spring from an actual sweet potato. It looks pretty good. This is a Malabar spinach, and I tried to grow some of this and all of mine died as soon as the summer hit, and these are supposed to be like heat loving, so I don't know what they weren't liking about my situation. Maybe I tried planting them a little too early. I don't know, but she got hers to grow, and technically, apparently they get pretty big, but she planted it in this little pot, and it's just beautiful and ornamental. I mean, look at the, here, let's go down and look at these. It's got these beautiful little flowering sort of, I don't know what, but yeah, super pretty plant. Let's get a better look at it. This would be really nice planted. She could add something else in there. It'd look really great. She also bought this euphorbia last year in the spring, and it was, I think, a little smaller than this, and it's looking great. And her mom gave her this desert rose. Let's see, I'm trying to get out of the, now I can't see. And in this beautiful pot, and I love these Talavera style pots that are partially glazed, where you can see the unglazed terracotta. Let me move this little guy. Super pretty pots. These used to be all over the place here, but you don't see them so much anymore. And I was up in Cave Creek, and I mentioned something about it to a guy that has a shop where he sells stuff like that, pots and garden doodads, and he said that there was two brothers that made these terracotta pots, and the other brother, or made the Talavera pots, and the one brother who made them like this just isn't doing it anymore. She's also got some elephant food that she grew from cuttings. This is actually one that I'd really like to talk about, because she's got, this is that succulent right here. This. That I don't know what it's called, and I call it string of spears. And it just looks so beautiful the way she's got it. And then she's got this other one here, and she gave me some of it, and mine kind of took a nosedive, but hers did real well here, and it's in a real small pot too. It's a Kalanchoe miracle leaf. You can juice it, and it will heal everything that ails you. Probably real good for COVID. There's some more of the string of spears that she has, so it's real interesting how hers is growing. And these are some new plants that she's got. She's got the buttons, which are so cute. And she told me the name of this, but I can't remember what it's called. It's some kind of a sedum. And I don't know what that little guy is. And she just stuck these elephant food plants in here. And this is a little golden gold torch cactus piece that I just gave her recently. Here's a little elf aloe that I gave her, recently as well. And this is kind of interesting. This is also a golden torch, and hers got really fat. So it's really interesting, and it kind of lost its golden look. Let's see if I can get a better look at it. Oh, maybe come around. Yeah, so usually these are kind of thin and they're real golden looking, and this has slight bit goldenness going on, but not much. So this part of the garden here is her little area, and it gets morning sun till about, I'd say, 11 o'clock, maybe 11:30, and she's kept pretty much all of her plants here and watered them probably. She says she waters about 2 times a week, pretty much everything. There might be a few things she makes adjustments to, but so these plants do pretty good here in the desert with a little bit of morning sun. Well, actually, that's kind of a lot of morning sun. A lot of plants have a hard time past 10 o'clock here in Phoenix. And then she has adopted my bin system. And she actually was going to go buy some of these. And I said, you know what? I could use some extra money. Why don't you just take some that I have all ready to go? And I still have some empty ones that I need to make. And I'm going to go buy some more of these and stuff. But I was just like, save yourself the trouble and let's get started. And so I gave her these. She bought them from me, basically. So she planted them up with some seeds, and she's got stuff popping. Like that little thing right there. I don't know. I don't remember what she planted in here. Veggies. There's like carrots in there. I don't remember what else, but I know she said there was carrots in there. And then I gave her one of the little blizzard aloes, which is looking real pretty in there. And yeah. So, oh, and she's got, this is a teeny tiny piece of Moroccan mound. So she's gonna rock that thing. And she also got this euphorbia recently. So that's my roommate's garden. I may have mentioned it to her at one point, but I'm thinking about making a pond area right about here. Kind of where all this, in this vicinity, because all of the water, well, there's many reasons. First of all, I've got water coming out right here, out my ears, and I don't have enough barrels, and I'm planning on getting a couple more barrels. However, it's still not enough. And I thought, instead of buying all these barrels, I'll just have a few. We could make a pond right here, kind of in this vicinity, and it might encroach a little bit down a little further, down to like where her black containers start. And then this could be like a big pond right here. And then, so this could collect some of the overflow from this. And then this, we're sort of at the foothills, we're just beyond the foothills of the Phoenix Mountains and Piestewa Peak. And it's pretty slopey. Don't ask me what the slope actually is. It has a nice slope. Like, it doesn't feel like crazy slope, I guess, if that makes sense. You don't really notice it so much. Like when you come here, you think it's flat, but it's really not. And so I was thinking about making a little creek coming down, maybe have the creek come down on this side and then up past the patio and down, and then maybe meet up, so there will be like a creek feature coming down, so when it rains it will be a nice water feature, and then it'll come down and fill up the pond, along with getting some overflow from this. But also this, the water runs not only down this way, but then it ultimately wants to go up around over there. It's more of, the slope is more of like a diagonal over to that corner. So, and I have been racking my brain and I still don't know what it's gonna ultimately be, but I'm thinking about building I just watched a video, somebody called it a constructed wetland. And you just basically you just fill up an area with pebbles and some kind of a surface, like plastic pond material that prevents the water from seeping into the ground. And I was thinking about doing it without the pond material earlier. And I still may do it without the pond material, because I think it is good to have some of the water seeping down in to the soil. And, you know, I mean, we could go like a whole year without rain, but then we get rains where it's just a lot of rain. And I wouldn't call it a problem on the property, but I just want to capture some of it and utilize it for better purposes, like to water plants. So I was thinking I would excavate out all along the patio. Here it goes all the way down there. Let's see. I'm going to excavate all along this patio. And then have another pond over that way, which is going to be tricky too, because again, I don't know how it's going to work, but I'm going to have two ponds. So there will be like the main collection system and then another one down here. And then here I can have water happy plants. Not necessarily plants that need to be in standing water all the time, but that are happy with standing water when it happens, like these guys. They actually do really well outside in Phoenix. Although during freezing times they could be sensitive. I'm not sure how they do, but I've seen people have them in their landscapes in shady areas, protected shady areas, and I have a feeling they would be fine because this is a relatively protected area. See, we've got this overhang, and I'm going to be building a shade structure out here to where those posts are. I know they're not lined up very nicely. I'm going to redo them. But they held up in 80-mile-per-hour winds. So this area, as you can see, it gets a lot of shade year-round, actually. And then this front area here gets like morning sun. So this would be really great for certain water plants. So we've got the pothos is one of them. Oh, and I don't have it right now, but there's the Nile grass would be real nice along here. And maybe one of these guys, or two or three, the foxtail fern. These, and the thing is all of those plants, they don't necessarily need to be sitting in water, but they'd be happy with a lot of water. And I think this one would be happy, but I'm not sure. This right here is a desert willow that I planted from seed. And let me tell you, these are not that easy. I have no problem getting them to germinate, but they're like colicky little babies, like really hard to take care of. It's crazy. They're native. But they just need a lot of water. So maybe it would be nice to add one of these. Well, actually, I'm thinking about adding this around the pond area. So then I had another idea. And I'm not really set up for it, but there's another thing you can do to be water savvy. And that is when you plant containers like these, or any container, the water drains out. At least these are designed to be the draining type of planters. And yes, every time I water, I get water coming out. Well, you can capture that water into a container with water plants. And you kind of want the water to move through, and like a rocky container with no soil in it, perhaps. So I was thinking about making like some kind of a system to capture the runoff water. I don't know, just some ideas I have. I don't know how I'm gonna make it work. You know, like you have these aha moments and then you're like, oh, but then there's this obstacle in my way. Because now I'd have to be set up. It would be complicated to now to set something up that can capture this water. So I gotta think about that. Or if I make more of these, how can I design them in such a way that they will capture the water better? So yeah, let's take a look at, okay, over here it looks like some animal got in. There's cats, maybe it was cats. What was this one? This is a crookneck squash. This one is broccoli, tomato. And this one is zucchini, another tomato. I still have not, I don't even know what I'm going to plant in here yet. I've hardly even given it thought. Once I got these all planted, and I got those ready for planting, and I just had a million other things to do, and something needs to be done within the next week over there. And I'm a little disappointed. My upland cress is nowhere to be seen. It's been over a week. I'm thinking the soil isn't right. I don't know. Look, the calendula, nothing's happening there. The calendula is real iffy. I am getting the radishes. These are the French breakfast radishes, I believe. Let's see. Yep, French breakfast. Those are coming up. Not as many as I would like to see, but there's some there. And here we've got oh, wait, Italian dandelion. Got one popping up right there. A little disappointed that that's not coming up. Those came right up for me in the spring and did real good. And I did cover some of them. There could be one trying to pop its way up through here. This is my chop and drop area. And I have to say, that I think these sunflowers are a lot happier than the other ones. Not really, they all look good, but these do look the best. Although these don't look too bad either. These are all on the sunny side of the planters. So I kind of had high expectations. Although this one's pretty much in full sun most of the time. These miss out on some of the morning sun. Here we've got the big radishes. There's one coming up there, one coming up there. Unless those are seeds from something else. Which could very well be. Still no calendula. What did I plant over here? That's the Ozorowski. This could be the red shiso. This one. And that one. But they could be other plants too because I get a lot of volunteers in these. So I'm a little disappointed that the red shiso's not coming in. Yeah, and this sunflower, I'm a little bummed that they're all ready to bloom because I wanted them to get a little bigger before blooming, but that's okay. Maybe they will still have nice little petite blooms. But I've grown sunflowers before and they were stunted and they didn't give me nice blooms at all. Like it was like I remember thinking, well, maybe the blooms will still be kind of nice even though they're not big and tall. But I've had them not even, once they bloomed, it's like they still don't even look good. But then I have had some stunted ones still have really nice blooms, so we'll see. And these are the black oil sunflowers, which I am hoping will attract the lovebirds. And what this tells me, though, this experiment, oh, no, look, I think that could very well be a calendula right there. Super exciting. But what this tells me is that, yes, go ahead and plant sunflowers like the end of August. Next year I'll be ready. And I have to say that, and then also next year if I want to grow sunflowers over the summer here, they're definitely going to, well, I'm pretty sure they're going to need to be in, at least when they're young. I'll have them in these containers and they will need to be in the Arizona greenhouse. So, all right, yeah, this tomato, the plan is for this to hang over and then be growing next to these petunias hanging over. And then this was Shasta daisy. And so this could be like a beautiful Farmscape planter. And again, I want the tomato here to be like growing over and hanging down. Same thing with this. So I may add some other, I'm probably going to be adding something else in here. All right, well, that's it for the Rain Dance Ranch. The backyard update. Thanks for watching. When it rains, go out and dance.